kind of looked similar in that we saw a lot of high skill ceiling players, a lot of flashes of brilliance, but it took a while. It took a couple seasons before they really started winning.
Yeah, especially with Samsung Blue. That was
yeah.
a little bit out of left field. Well, there's an Italy ban, so that answers that.
Gragas banned as well, so not going to let CJ first pick that one.
I doubt CJ's going to be that concerned. Ambition has a very wide champion pool for a jungler, so you can sort of work your way around that. If you're Ambition, of course, will we see the Lee Sin tonight? I really like watching his early aggression on the Warrior enchant Lee Sin.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, too, is that if all else fails, you can always default to something like Nunu even for Ambition. So he really is someone that's hard to touch through bans right now, like most of CJ, actually. There's a Rumble ban coming in from CJ.
Very interesting that they would ban the Rumble here because Samsung has a lot of threats, and the Rek'Sai is typically a very nice ban to have against Kuve. Now, Kuve may resort to Rek'Sai now or to a possibility of a Hecarim, but banning Rek'Sai on blue side means that Samsung can't flex it. So I expect Samsung to take that Rek'Sai unless CJ grabs it first.
Maybe. They could take the Hecarim away from Kuve as well, too, if they thought that was more of a threat. Shy has played quite a bit of Hecarim, but he hasn't been the best Hecarim we've seen in the league. His flanks have not been stellar.
I think CJ is 3-7 when playing Hecarim. They really have a bad record, and the last time they played it was against Jinair, and they totally failed to get the engages on the flanks. That's not really Shy's specialty as a player, and so I would be concerned. They should take the Rek'Sai here. Absolutely. Take it away from Samsung, because otherwise that is a very dangerous pick.
And they will. So 2 picks over to Samsung. We'll see if they do decide to grab that Corki in the first rotation or not.
I really don't like it when Samsung gets the Corki early.
Alistar's available too. I feel like you got to pick that.
Yeah, they will pick Alistar. The question is, what else are they going to grab here? Alistar Lucian would be a very strong option.
Bard as well, I suppose.
I don't know if Bard's worthy of a pick this early on. You should take the... Oh, they take the Shen early.
Wow.
Very interesting.
Taking the Shen away from Shy. And again, Shen did get these little buffs, and Shy's laughing about it. He's like, okay, really, guys? Come on, I'm the only Shen player in this league.
Well,
I wonder how Shyvana does.
I mean, it is. The buffs were landed this week in Korea on 5.11, so we've only had a couple days, and Shy obviously seeing that power of Shen early on and being an early adopter, but that doesn't mean that no one else is playing it. And clearly, Kuve feels confident. And a lot of those changes that were made, particularly the magic resist change and the change to his passive, means that he's a lot more durable naturally with the MR, and he can split push a lot better with the Trinity Force because he gets more procs on his passive, which means he's much more of a threat in terms of quickly taking down towers in a split.
Well, the Azir would not be a big surprise. Coco did play it both games in their last match. Did quite well on it. And looks like they'll go with that and the Corki for space.
Azir's just such a safe blue side pick. Now, Crown may play that Zed, that we've seen him play it before, but I'm not sure he's going to do that. Really interesting that Alistar has fallen so far down this draft. It's probably the first time we've seen Alistar go this far down in some time.
It is a little bit odd.
Especially since CJ got Corki even after they saw that Sivir was already selected by Samsung. So there's no need to take the Corki that early on. It could have just been Alistar, Azir. CJ may have a special trick in store, however. We'll see what he does.
Certainly could. And it might be that Evelyn to go with the Alistar as well, too.
Yeah.
Eve on Eve. It's finally happening.
CJ has the Rek'Sai, so that Evelyn just not going to be quite as effective. With an Italy ban, there aren't quite as many options as usual for Eve.
I mean, we've seen people have success with it against the Rek'Sai anyway, but it does make it a little bit tougher. And they're going to go with that and the Nautilus for Luna this game. Mad Life may be going back to that Thresh that he played so much in the early parts of the season.
Where is the Alistar, and why is it not being taken?
It's a bit odd.
It would be perfect for CJ because they've got good poke as it is, but they need some sort of primary engage. And they could get it from their top laner, absolutely. Shy has switched over to Teleport Ignite, which implies that it will be Hecarim. But we'll have to wait and see.
That makes you wonder if he's better at playing it now than he was in recent history.
Well, I mean, I saw him on it recently, and I wasn't impressed. They just continually failed to get the flank, and you have to go for that flank. That's it. So Alistair Hecarim would give them lots of engage options, but they're going to go for pick with the Thresh instead. So this means that the Hecarim is now the only engage choice. And given Shy's previous Hecarim play, that does not fill me with confidence, Stella.
This almost seems like a very CJ thing to do, though. This is a composition where I feel like you could turn a fight around. You know, you're the one who gets engaged on, and then you turn it around. Then you Hecarim over their team. Then you have the box down to protect your Corki and your Azir. So I feel like this kind of fits into CJ's strategy of, well, we're just going to kind of see what happens in the early game and then come back with team fighting later.
The problem with that is that Evelynn with Shen ulting her instantly into your Corki and Azir is not something that they're going to be able to peel with a Thresh.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So that gives me worry. I really like Samsung's comp here. We have the return of the Shen Evelynn combo, which has been a League of Legends staple when both of these champions are in meta. It's always fun to see how the flanks exactly work with that. Of course, Evelynn gets a massive shield from Aghanie's Embrace and the Shen ultimate. It's going to be Victor for Crown, champion that he's actually struggled on. It hasn't been one of his best. Maybe looking to turn that performance around tonight, but I really like Samsung's composition. They've got great lockdown, lots of crowd control, really good engage with the Eve Shen combo if they can execute it properly. And CJ going to be very reliant on Shy to engage, although they have the better poke by a little bit. It's not by a lot, by a little bit. I just worry that this is not something that CJ has shown themselves capable of competently operating in the past.
Well, it's no top fizz, but we'll see what they can pull off with this one.
No, don't remind me of Shy's fizz.
I don't know if Shy's Hecarim really is going to make you feel much better.
It does, actually. And that says a lot.
A little bit.
It does, actually.
Well, Shy just looking for another opportunity to prove himself because, again, you know, he was not finding the angles to come in on that you need to with that Hecarim.
Yeah, he is 3-7. I just looked it up. 3-7 all-time on that champion. Working towards that 50% slowly.
I'm glad to see Madlife back on that Thresh, though, too. He did really well on it earlier in the season. Madlife continuing to be pretty flexible with those support picks.
Still, this is the only time we've seen Alistair fall through pick and ban. Very interesting, unusual scenario.
Well, we'll see who takes game number one, CJ versus Samsung. It's time to get in the game and find out. And welcome to Summoner's Rift. CJ Entis versus Samsung here on our first match of the day on this lovely but extremely humid Friday in Seoul.
At least it's not too hot today, though.
Yeah,
we got that going for us.
That is true.
I can take one or the other, but not both.
I would prefer it just to be not humid. I don't care what the temperature is. I just want it to be not humid.
Well, you should move to Colorado where I grew up.
Sounds
0% humidity.
Yeah, Minnesota wasn't so bad, man. We had like a week or two of humidity, but it was usually pretty dry.
Well, you had, see, got to go to a desert, Los Angeles. Maybe you should move there.
I don't know about that. I don't want to go that far.
I know Los Angeles is, there are some things worse than humidity.
Yeah, you know, I love clean air. That's why I live in Seoul. Yep. That's a big priority for me, you know. Well, pretty passive start here. Oh, hi.
Hello. So, it looks like no real shenanigans going down to level 1.
Shenanigans? What are you talking about? He's right in front of you, Monty.
Simmer down there.
You just shush me.
And I'll do it again.
How dare you? You can't do that. You can't shush me. It doesn't work.
Calm down. Calm down.
It's clearly not affecting anything.
So, looks like actually Fury and Luna are going to take the Gromp. This isn't something that happens in Korea very often, but they want to get that big advantage. Will Luna take the Soul XP is the question. Sometimes you do this on a Nautilus if you want to invade early, but nope, going to share it. Luna just going to heal up off of pots instead, and now they will have that early advantage. Of course, CJ's going to know this when they see Luna's HP bar.
Oh, yeah.
So
they'll know exactly what's up.
But how are they going to respond right now? Just try. Oh, missed the CS with the phosphorus bomb. How sad for space. And actually, Shy going boots, so not buying anything besides the flask, and then wanting to go for the early boots up in that lane.
Wants that fast home guard, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I mean, he doesn't use it well, so.
Hey, man.
That's the thing about Shy's Hecarim is it's not that he's bad in lane. It's that when it comes to coordinating with the rest of his team, on champions like Shen, he's very good at it. On champions like Hecarim, he just can't find the flank, can't find the back line. And Victor is very vulnerable to flanks, so he definitely will have opportunities in this game. Sivir, not so much, but the Victor, yes.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Unless it's praised Draven, then never try again. But Shy's Hecarim, give it another try. Give it a shot.
We'll see if he can lower that win rate to under 30%.
That'd be pretty impressive. I mean, for a player like Shy, who is a good top laner, he's legitimately good, to have such a low win rate on a champion like that, it's like Gnar 2.0 for this guy.
I actually think his Gnar win rate is higher.
It should be, yeah. But he, it's similar in that he just didn't want to play it. Then when he did, he was bad on it.
Oh, no.
Not quite this bad.
I lied. He's 0-2 on Gnar. But he's also only played 2 games as opposed to 10. So there's that aspect of it as well.
It's true he gave up on that one. Never even made it to third time's the charm, I guess.
Well, we haven't really seen much Gnar recently. Been kind of shut out of the meta by a variety of other carry top laners or just more champions that are threatening to the back line.
True enough. We'll see how this mid lane goes as well, too. Crown, like we mentioned, didn't have the strongest showing on Victor last time out. He'll have a little bit of time to passively farm up this game, though.
He's not getting Zed played into him, so.
Yeah, that helps.
That's a big positive. Ambition really not making any moves on the map quite yet. Of course, not too many kill options. He's going to need 6 on Coco before they make a play onto the Victor, but that is something that CJ's been doing really well, is the synergy between Coco and Ambition when Coco's playing this Azir. Because Coco really doesn't have a lot of fear about going in for the kill against a champion like Victor. Victor with the double mobility summoners this time, so he will be a little bit harder to lock down.
You know what surprises me a bit? Is you remember Hojin, of course, from the Ku Tigers. We'll see him later today. He used to be named Lee. But he changed his name, apparently, because it was too close to Lee Sin. Yet, here we have Eve on Samsung.
Don't ask me for logic.
I don't know. I don't get it, man. Where do you draw the line?
Oh, this is just a big farm fest right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm actually quite surprised. Ambition just moving through the enemy jungle, getting some of those deep wards down right on the camps. And trying to keep an eye on where Eve is going to be in the jungle, but there's not a whole lot that he's going to see quite yet, especially the trinket ward on the blue buff going to go down very early.
Yeah, not a lot going on. There's a lot of farming. Coco has managed to freeze the lane a little bit closer to him. And Eve, stealthily collapsing tunnels. Can you really stealthily collapse a tunnel? I don't know if it quite works like that. Or they're going to find the pink ward.
Yeah, they knew it was there. They pinged it out earlier, so that's why Mad Life is there, just to back him up while he gets those hits down and takes it out. So good planning right there, even Luna. Going to take adequate precautions. We're heading back into the jungle. That ward on the blue buff going to expire right before the blue buff comes up, though. So he's still going to be seen at his wolves, however. They have good eyes on him, and now they're going to know exactly where Ambition's Rek'Sai is, too, at the same time. So this is a pretty known quantity. Shy actually going in.
Yeah, onslaught of shadows onto Kuve, but Kuve not even needing to burn that flash. Shy just pushing him back. Guess he just wants a little bit of time to throw out a ward and hang out a bit. Trying to push Kuve out of lane, but I think it's going to take a little bit more than that.
So I'm curious if Kuve is going to mimic Shy's Shen build. So that was Sunfire Cape. Of course, you need that to get more wave clear onto Shen to put pressure down. And then you move into the Cowl, and then a Phage, or Phage then Cowl, depending on how you're feeling in your lane. And then you build the Trinity Force after that. And the Trinity Force, people may say, well, why is that really necessary on Shen? You just need to do more damage on this champion. And he can throw out swords quite frequently to get that Trinity Force Sheen proc up. But otherwise, you're just not that useful. Building full tank on Shen, which is what we've seen a lot of LCS players do this past week, really doesn't provide much because, great, you're impossible to kill, but you also, after your taunt is down, present zero threat to the enemy team. There's no more CC you're able to do. There's really nothing at all. So balancing out his innate tankiness, which you got more of with the magic resist buffs.
Yeah, also gets his passive a little bit quicker as well, too.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what makes the T-Force really nice.
Yeah, his general damage output was increased, but I think you just need something on Shen because otherwise like I said, as his taunt is gone, you might as well just ignore him until his taunt comes off cooldown again.
Well, Luna and Fury clearing out the ward, making way for Eve, but no, Eve not coming all the way down the river. He turns around and goes back to the blue. Looks like they're going to hand that over to Crown. But again, just a very passive game early on. But Ambition is level 6, Coco's level 7 now, so maybe we're going to start to see a little bit more action once Crown comes back to the mid lane.
Yeah, but that has to be very well coordinated. I'm actually really surprised at both teams wanting to farm up so heavily. Of course, CJ, they have more of an item power spike with Corki and Hecarim. Samsung, a little bit more freedom in terms of when and how they can fight, so they may want to look into that, getting a dragon earlier as a result because they are less dependent.
I mean, CJ's kind of always been the type of team, too, that likes to wait for their opponent to make a mistake. And against a team like Samsung, you're probably going to find that,
Well, I mean, Samsung have been playing well so far. Their warding has been really good around this dragon, and they've really kept, especially those 2 pink wards now in the bottom side of the river. CJ.
Mad Life and Ambition coming up top. Shy just trying to keep Cuvée occupied until they get there. There is a ward. Ambition comes through. They're going to scan it. Are they still going to dive this? Meanwhile, Samsung responds with the dragon. They're like, all right, well, if we're going to lose our top laner, we're going to get the dragon for it. And they're going to go in onto Cuvée. There's the smite as well. Onslaught of Shadows comes through. Mad Life hits him with the death sentence. There's a taunt on the Mad Life. Ambition tanking the turret well, though. And First Blood going to Shy. Dragon, though, taken by Samsung.
That was an excellent tower dive from CJ. They just chained their CC so well, starting with the Chilling Smite into the knockup, into the Onslaught of Shadows, and then Mad Life just grabbing him with a hook. There was almost nothing that Cuvée could do. And because Ambition started out all that and began tanking the turret, there was no threat of the turret switching aggro to a lower health target once the taunt came through. So that was a really nice tower dive from CJ. Very well executed.
Yeah, they're going to trade turrets, too.
Yeah, that said, it wasn't really worth it. I mean, we look at it turret for turret, but they got the dragon for a kill, definitely in favor of Samsung. And CJ knows, though, they're just waiting to hit that power spike. They're waiting to get their items, so they're going to be fine with that overall.
CJ just doesn't pick themselves into compositions that have to be too worried with the early game most times, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be fine later on in the game, so it's not the biggest deal in the world for them to make that decision in the early stages here, especially now because they have the leisure of simply continuing to push with this Hecarim farm up, and then once Corki gets the Trinity Force, he's going to have a lot of freedom on the map because that will probably be before the turret actually, or the dragon actually respawns, and that means that really Space can group up and start pushing down more towers even in the mid or the top side.
CJ really putting a lot of pressure on that mid lane turret too now. Not quite able to take it out, but they did do a lot of damage.
And yeah, that's exactly where they need to be. Just wait for their timing, see if they can get some siege done in the interim. And here comes Corki right into the mid lane.
Yep, that's right.
A little early, actually.
Yeah, he doesn't have that Trinity Force yet, so I don't know how effective he's going to be. Do you think that's enough?
Yeah, it is enough. And he can't farm anywhere else right now.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to overextend into the bottom side. by himself. But
Juve already starting to do a little bit of split pushing, it looks like. Doesn't quite have that Sunfire cloak yet, but he's got to be pretty close by now.
Yeah, he'll get it on his next back. He's just trying to take the waves where he can. Fury actually daring to push forward right now, but notice that Eve is right there for the backup. Going to be coming into the lane. There are pings on Eve, but I don't know if they saw Eve. They may have seen Eve at the Krugs, actually. So they have an idea that there is sufficient backup. Will they go for it anyway, however? Kuve has ultimate and teleport available.
Yeah, Ambition looking to come over the wall as well. Going to back off. Wow, Ambition goes through anyway. And CJ's just going to chase Samsung back a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. Coco covering CJ well. They had that idea of where Eve was, making sure that they were going to have a ban up if something hairy went down in the top lane. And that just keeps them farming. So very defensive posturing from CJ here, but they're just hedging their bets. And you can tell the way that CJ's positioning on the map is so they can always get the better team fight should one erupt at that time.
Seems very CJ of them. I do love the team fighting. And meanwhile, everything else going pretty normally. Nice little CS lead for Fury here. But not a whole lot that Space needs to worry about quite yet.
No, Space is just happy to farm up right now. He just wants that Trinity Force. They don't have to push any objectives until he gets it. He can go right into the mid lane if he wants, and someone else up top just to clear the wave.
CJ's been doing a good job this game, too, of controlling the Scuttle Crab as well. They've been having nearly all of them so far this game.
All right, there's the Trinity Force, and that's going to mean that actually Space going into the top side. Fury getting a lot of damage down onto the turret right now because no one was there to cover.
Wow.
I wonder if he's actually going to take this. And they're going to send 3 people top just to beat down the turret. That is a bit of a mistake from CJ.
Yeah, can CJ get the bottom or a kill or something? There's a Chilling Smite onto Kube. Kube flashes, still gets hit by that onslaught of shadows, pulled in by the death sentence. Fox goes down. They commit a lot to it, but they do get the kill. Now they really need to get this turret as well. Otherwise, it's going to be one kill for another objective, and that just is not something you can do all game long.
Yeah, they're going to get the turret as well. They've got a minion wave there stationed. So nice dive there by CJ. Mad Life with the flash flay into the hook just to make sure that it was secure. Kube was trying to get out. He was playing intelligently, but there were just too many people, and when they committed multiple summoners to that kill, it just was a little bit too much for him. So CJ, just again, a slight advantage out of that situation. They've gained a mild gold lead here so far, by about 1,500. A lot of that coming from the CS differential with Shy in the top lane, as well as the 2 kills.
Yeah, they've kept the turrets even at least. They really could use this next dragon that comes up in 30, but if both of these teams just kind of continue going even until the late game.
This is CJ's time to shine, though.
Yeah.
2 Trinity Forces completed. That CS lead just put them over the edge in terms of getting that onto Hecarim right now. So this is their time to shine. They need to take this dragon.
Well, up in 10 seconds. They have a decent amount of vision nearby, but they could use a bit more positioning. Shy just trying to chase Kube out of lane for the moment anyway. Yep, and Samsung able to muscle their way into the river for now.
Yeah, you always have those Sand Soldiers, though, to safely clear wards if you're Coco. CJ should have the positioning. They should have the poke. They just want to push out the bottom lane before they actually commit to that. But Shy, really the bully in the top side right now, able to keep control over that minion wave and make sure that it's nice and close to Samsung's tier 2. So there's constantly that threat going in.
Yep. They're going to try to make a pick onto Looney here. Oh, no, pulling back Ambition with the Lantern. A little bit too dangerous to go for that one, I guess.
Yeah, they still need to wait. Now they have the waves in their favor, and Hecarim is going to be able to recall, and Samsung is going to have a high amount of threat here on this dragon, as he's not going to pick up the Home Guard enchantment, so he's just going to go back. sure he maybe wanted to get the home guard if he had the money, which he almost certainly did.
I would think so, yeah. I mean, he did pick up the Ruby Crystal, didn't he? CJ going for the Dragon anyway. And here comes Samsung. They may try for this one. Luno walking up, and it looks like it still is taken by CJ. CJ may want to fight this too. Kube taking a lot of damage after coming in with his ultimate. Nice knock up onto Shy. Shy having to ult to stay away in that Chaos Storm, pushing most of CJ back. So Samsung doesn't lose anybody, but they don't come away with the Dragon. CJ thinking about chasing this one down, but I think the health is a little bit too low. They're going to have a hard enough time saving this mid lane turret.
Well, are they going to go in on this, though, is the question. They're
I don't know.
starting to go. There's the Immersion Dive 1 on play.
Knocking nearly everyone back under turret. Fury, though, the first person to pick up the kill, but a double in response from Space on that Corki. CJ able to get a little bit of revenge there and still saving their turret. Wow, what a great play from Coco. His Azir is getting so good.
That was amazing.
That was like a four-man Emperor's Divide push under turret.
That was amazing. I definitely didn't expect that. Well, Shy, guess what? You don't have to engage if Coco's playing Azir. I take it back. You don't need Hecarim to do anything.
Well, that's perfect because that's exactly what Shy does on Hecarim. So this works well. Good call, CJ.
Whoa. I just need, because that was a flash. Basically, I'm just trying to figure out how he actually managed to do that.
I want to see the replay.
Because he put the Sand Soldier down.
The margin for error was no doubt very, very low. CJ even comes back and takes his mid lane turret. And suddenly, CJ doing CJ things. They find that opportunity. CJ is such a reactive team, it seems like, lately. They want you to make a little bit of a mistake, then they just jump all over you.
Well, it wasn't even a mistake. Samsung was doing the right thing by just turning. They had enough of HP that under a reasonable circumstance, they could have just grouped in that mid lane and tried to take out the mid tower.
They didn't account for the unreasonably good Azir play.
They didn't, yes, they didn't account for Coco coming through Raptor Pit and knocking 4 of them into the tower like that. That was super good.
I don't know why we haven't seen the replay yet. I want to see the replay.
I'm really upset that we haven't seen the replay yet.
I mean, what's going on here that we really vitally need to watch? Oh, it looks like Samsung may take this mid lane turret. Yep, they will. All right, there. Now we can see the replay, right? Maybe? Maybe not.
Now I'm sad.
Oh, me too.
It's okay. We'll see it when Coco wins MVP. If you don't sabotage the vote with Mad Life again.
I am not sorry for that. Not one bit. I helped give Mad Life an MVP for his Bard game. I went to bed satisfied and proud of my actions that night. But I think Coco could definitely be a good candidate for MVP so far this game. Nice CS lead actually for Shy on this Hecarim, but he has pretty much been farming all game.
That's what he does.
Yep.
What you got to do when you're Hecarim. Just go for it, farm up, get to those big items, and then dumpster the backline.
True enough. Space just pushing up the bot lane as much as he possibly can. The Shen pick for Cuvée not working out too terribly well. He's 0-3-1 on the champion right now and came in once with his ultimate, didn't really get a good taunt off afterwards. And
well, a lot of that was Samsung's fight on the Dragon. Eve was not flanking. I mean, you have to get the Eve into the back line in order to be really effective, and it just didn't happen. And sure, there are barriers to getting Eve back there, the Emperor's Divide, but Coco's also, I mean, in his last 3 games that he's been playing Azir, he has not been using Emperor's Divide in a very defensive manner. He's an all-in Azir player.
It's very fun to watch. Oh, Fury able to push Shy off the turret, but not before Shy does about half health damage to it. Yeah, CJ really starting to put a lot of pressure on the map in general right now. Despite being even 3 turrets to 3 turrets, CJ with a lot better vision, a lot better pressure. It's interesting because if you look at where everybody is on the map right now, it doesn't look like a 3 turrets to 3 turrets game, does it? Looks like a 3-1 in favor of CJ or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the power of the ward line that CJ's established. They have the forward vision, whereas Samsung's playing in a more reactionary fashion. And they're unable to put out because CJ's putting such even pressure on the map, particularly on the side waves, and Shy's just going to sit here and...
He's going to get the turret, I think.
Auto attack the turret for free.
Kube's not going to stop him. Wow, yeah. Easy turret taken by Shy. Looks like they'll just go back and buy 1 minute until that dragon. CJ looking to take their second, as is Samsung. And is Samsung in a position here where they can fight this? Does it all just, if they don't get the flank with Eve, they don't get the fight, or is it even too dangerous at this point now?
They have to kill Coco at space very early on in this fight. I think if this game goes for a long time, we'll probably even out in terms of threat. Obviously, the Hecarim going to be a little bit more threatening than the Shen in the late game. Azir and Victor, both very big late game carries. And then maybe the, as we see something.
Ambition going in. Emperor's Divide pushes Fury out of it. They separated the AD carry. Mad Life trying to make plays here. They do grab Coco. They take him down. Luna with the kill there. Fury in the back lines by himself. And look at that, 3 kills already for Samsung. Crown on the run right now. They've lost Fury, but they're still going in. Shy getting low health. Space relatively untouched, but he doesn't really have a lot of people to keep him safe right now. They've got to be so careful here. Kube, though, looks to be an easy target as he has to try to taunt away. That fight ended up being a 1-for-3 so far. Shy really wants to go in on this. Well, Luna getting a little bit low, got a little bit too close to that Hecarim, and Shy has the Trinity Force. He is doing damage.
You have to respect that double Trinity Force damage right there. Kuve is tanky enough to handle it. Luna getting a bit too close right now, and considering that he doesn't really have any tank items, he's going for the Forbidden Idol next. That is not going to be a pretty picture. And you know what's funny is in spite of the fact that Samsung won that fight, they're actually, CJ's the one doing the dragon right now because 2 of Samsung's members had 0 HP.
Yeah, they'll get the dragon too. Shy coming in with the teleport, runs right into Crown and takes him out. Kube getting knocked up by Ambition. That's going to be another kill as Ambition finishes him off with a bit of help from the Phosphorus Bomb on Corki. And now CJ is pretty much taking firm control of this game. Yeah, it's so bizarre how CJ is able to turn situations like that around. I mean, that was a 2-for-3 fight in favor of Samsung, yet CJ gets the dragon, comes back, gets more kills, and now has this pressure in mid lane. They do need to worry about top lane, though. It is looking pretty good for Samsung at the moment.
It's looking pretty good for Hecarim's farm score, I think you mean. There's no damage on the turret yet, only starting right now, so that'll be easy to helicopter his way through, pick up a lot of those CS, and then move it right back the other direction while they can start to put a lot of pressure down onto the Baron. This Baron will go down very, very quickly to double Trinity Force, Blade of the Ruined King plus Azir, auto attacks. And
should.
Yeah, that was a...
there's blue buff taken by Coco.
It was a very funny fight because so many of Samsung's members got chunked but didn't die, so a little bit poor target selection and finish from CJ right there, but because 2 of their biggest threats, and actually the 2 threats in their power spikes right now, were managed to stay alive and there was no more damage left over from Samsung, they couldn't actually finish that off, and CJ's the one who quite easily takes the dragon. It
was impressive too, just how untouched space was in that fight. You know, for kind of being in the middle of it a little bit, came out of that with full health. Oh, meanwhile, I guess space just decides to kill Kuve.
Mad Life was there to help.
Ah, yes. So no Baron for Samsung now. Kuve looks like he tried to ult out of that, but ended up dying anyway. Probably got CC'd a bit by Mad Life during it.
I think he started his ult and then didn't realize that Mad Life was coming in.
I bet he wasn't trying to ult. But that's what happened.
Nice.
Who knows? Because apparently we don't do replays in this game.
You will never see it again, Noah.
I guess not. I had to enjoy it while it lasts. CJ enjoying taking out that mid lane turret right now. 5-3 and make that 6-3 as Space takes out the tier 2 at bottom. So all of the tier 2s down now. Only the inhibitor turrets remaining for CJ between them and starting on the Nexus.
Yep, Azir turret left behind on that siege, just propped up to cover their rears, and that does foil any kind of Evelynn Shen flank that would go down. And CJ, they played a very methodical game. It's been very textbook so far, except for that wacky engage. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
So Cuvée actually just gets flayed out of his taunt.
Oh, he tried to ult there. Ooh, that doesn't seem like the best idea.
Well,
he almost made it, actually.
There was no CC left over, so you might as well try to get out of that situation without dying. But, yeah, this Shen has been left a lot to be desired. And, you know, he's going full tank, so basically now he's not going to do anything at all ever in this game. I really don't like full tank Shen. It's like he has a port, an extra port, and an extra ability, but without any kind of damage threat, you run into situations like we saw before where he's just running away from Corki and Hecarim, even though it's like a 3v2.
Yeah, well, we saw Shy kind of chuckle a little bit when Samsung locked this one in, and I think Shy's status in this tournament as the only Shen player really hasn't been threatened too much yet.
This is my opinion about this Shen. So if you build full tank Shen, and he's not going to be a damage threat at all, except, why are you picking him? Okay, well, you're picking him because he has a taunt, but probably you're picking him for double globals, right? So you can get that 5v4. But if you have a 5v4, why would you need a massive tank there instead of somebody who does damage to take them out quicker? So it conceptually just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, fair question. In the end, in this game, it doesn't really matter. I think we are seeing a big difference between the two. Well, double pink ward will be double cleared by CJ. They'll grab the third one in there as well. And CJ's warding has been really good this game. Samsung has been a little bit behind on that. Now CJ going for this Baron, and it's pretty safe too. Samsung knows it's happening. Hopefully I didn't speak too soon. They took it out, and now the fight happens. Fox goes down to zone. Luna gets pulled in with that death sentence. And look at this Shy getting way in the back lines on top of everybody. They're going to kill the support. And then CJ has to kite back, getting away from that Chaos Storm. Samsung may have an opportunity here. No, Emperor's Divide pushes people back. Can Ambition do enough? Space, Coco trying to poke a little bit. Coco flashes ahead, picks up the kill onto Crown. And now CJ can start chasing yet again. Coco, wow. Tries to go back in again. Fury taken out extremely quickly. Look at Coco go on this Azir.
This is one of the best Azir games I've ever seen, Noah.
No kidding.
That was a really good turnaround from Coco, holding onto that ultimate, baiting them into the chase, and then turning the tables nearly instantly. I really hope we get a replay of that one at the very least, because...
Sorry, the technology just is... Oh, never mind.
All right, so here we go. Mad Life just going to zone right there. Eve gets the Shen ult. Shen appears. And let's just watch Coco here. So he gets stared up by Luna. Makes sense. And, you know, Shy dies early as they focus him in the back line. So it's a pretty bad trade so far. But here's Coco. Chunks down Eve with that Emperor's Divide. And look at this. He left just a little bit of a hole. And they all find themselves in a choke getting autoed by the Sand Soldiers, but here you go, moving forward, gets the flash down at the end, and you think, well, he might be in trouble. Well, guess again, that burst from the Corki takes out Fury right there.
And now CJ going right for this third dragon as well.
I love the positioning of that Emperor's Divide because it gave the other team hope that they could actually get around the wall to pursue and finish the kill. But then he just stuffed it with Sand Soldiers, and they took 1 billion damage trying to go through there. It was very clever.
Yeah.
I remember Froggen saying that he used to do that as well, playing Anivia, that the key to playing Anivia was not to completely wall off chokes, but to just make them line up single file in that choke point and then crush them as they tried to walk through.
Makes sense. Oh, a grab onto Eve. Can they finish him off? Doing about half damage. Pretty close. And now CJ has this Baron. They have that third dragon. They can pressure these turrets quite a bit. Minion wave almost there in the bot lane. Well, without Crown there, they're going to take out this turret extremely fast. Luna gets grabbed again. Goodbye. And CJ should be cruising to a pretty easy inhibitor here. Even Fury, the only ones defending the bot lane at the moment. There it goes. And CJ can just casually stroll away.
Cuvée showing that he does not understand the way of the ninja.
Yeah, I would say so.
Although you're supposed to play Shen, not role play Shen. We know Shen doesn't know the way of the ninja.
It's true. But we know. We are in control of Shen. Maybe not in the lore, but in real life.
Well, this siege is just so brutal. 2 Trinity Forces in it is here. Gonna take out those turrets in a jiffy.
Yep,
and now Will they actually get another inhibitor here? I think they should back off. Baron buffs off. They got enough. No need to be greedy. Go back, purchase some more items, make sure that you lock down this win without question.
Yeah, they're 10K gold ahead right now. And that's plenty. No need to push it any farther than you need to, especially because Samsung does have that ability to once in a while have kind of that miracle team fight where they can sort of scrap it out, you know?
Well, it's not that they haven't been team fighting that well this game. I think that last team fight went well for the most part until they got baited into the choke. If you think about it, if they had just left after Azir put down the Emperor's Divide, they may have been able to rush mid or something like that and take something in response for the Baron, but they got baited into that situation where they ended up experiencing more losses instead of just letting it go.
Well, it's too late now. A little bit of extra aggression where it wasn't needed, and Samsung finds themselves on the verge of losing game one. Almost certainly. So now I wonder, are we going to see Shy play the Manor Shen next game, right? Because I don't think Kube is going to do it. Shy's the type of player where he's like, all right, I'll Manor Shen here. I'll show you how it's done.
I like the phrase Manor Shen because Shen is just such a derpy ninja that you do it is kind of shameful to get beaten by him.
I mean, it's very manner of Shen to announce when he's showing up too, you know? Manor ninja. Very polite. He just knocks on the door. He's like, excuse me, I've been sent to assassinate you. Would you mind if I came in and, assassinated you? No? Oh, well, all right. I'll try later. I'll come through the window in about an hour. So
if you can leave it open for me, that'd be great.
Then, yeah. If you leave it unlocked, it'll make things much easier, please. No? All right. Well, I'll be cutting through your roof in approximately 45 minutes then. If you notice the sword coming through, just watch out. It's going to come right through. After I'm through, I'll assassinate you. But just be careful first. Very polite guy, that Shen. Eve trying to come in, and nope, sand soldiers everywhere, drops the ult anyway. Luna gets grabbed, CC before he can come in. Eve tries to go deep, gets focused immediately. Shy jumping to the back line, Sphere's crown right into space. Space taking some damage from that Chaos Storm, but should be able to survive it. Kube getting very low. Samsung everybody low. There's the Emperor's Divide. Coco comes in to help Space claim another kill.
How does Coco always get in there?
How does he always get out, too? That's the other big question.
He didn't even have flash when he went in because he burned it at the very start of the fight when Eve was starting to charge him down. And I think what I've learned, Noah, about watching these two teams is that no one knows how to flank here. Eve will not flank with the Shen ult. He just tries to run straight at you, and that means that Coco just flashes away, and then you never actually deal any damage to him. And CJ, we've seen that they have trouble with the flank as well. Now, Shy's been doing great, actually, at getting on to Crown in this game from the front, but he'd be doing a lot more if he didn't have to ult into the back line, if he could just run in from the side and then ult later in the fight once everybody starts to cluster up in the team fight.
It is kind of funny watching Shy approach these. He just kind of, walks into the fight, and he was like, excuse me, where's your AD carry? Oh, there it is? All right, I'll ult that way. That's where I'm going. Ambition finding Eve in the jungle here. Shy is a very predictable ult pattern with this.
I don't know why Shy needs Guardian Angel this game.
Just in case, got to stay in that back line, right?
Whatever. I guess we need another Baron to finish this one, too. The 3 inhibitors down and the massive super minion waves aren't enough. Got to stretch that gold lead.
Got to pad those stats. That's right. Looking good. Next time they have that stat where it shows Barons per game, CJ's is going to be a tiny bit higher.
Yep, and there is the retreat turret just to cover their rear, and now the final push begins. Maybe they can get some more kills, pad their stats in that fashion as well.
Why not? Super minions coming in every single lane right now. CJ taking out this inhibitor and bot once again as soon as it responds. Here we go, Eve coming in, gets a 3-man ult. Mad Life drops a box immediately. Luna trying to come from the side, doesn't really work. Shy still waiting to use that ult. Nope, now he just did. There we go. And yeah, that's going to be a dead Shen. Kube out of the way. Space gets a kill there. And Shy, it will just kind of cause havoc in the back lines, because why not? Crown surprisingly not doing a whole lot of damage. Maybe just enough to take out Ambition. Or not. He's still alive. Shy, oh, that's why he bought the Guardian Angel. Now we know. Got that turret because of it. CJ getting chunked out quite a bit in this fight. There we go. Now just running over the rest of Samsung, and its Fury goes down, so does the Nexus. GG, CJ takes game 1.
Well, very methodical game from CJ right there. Not too much.
Space was 10-0-7 on that Corki. He had Coco had a great game, but Space also had a really good game too.
Yeah, he did. Looked sharp, but I really liked just the team fighting of that Azir. I thought it was pretty amazing to watch, as well as that one engage was pretty crazy.
Yeah, Coco's Azir mechanics. That might be something Samsung would want to consider banning next game, I believe.
Yeah, still, Shy did better on the Hecarim. I'm still not convinced that he can actually flank with it, but at least he got onto Crown, which was the most important target for him to destroy in that back line.